to Elegant Soul Food, the consecrated nature baby, coming through with another edible arrangement for you. You know, your purpose and your will will always call you. It will string you along with a thought, a word, a poem, a movie, a song, a dance. God moves through us. God in me sees the God in you. The God in you sees the God in me. This book, Nutrition for Your Intuition. If you've been with me for some years and you've been paying attention to the frequency I've been putting down, you've been picking up what I've been putting down about frequency, about preserving your temple. If you destroy your temple, you're going to graduate to the next realm very fast. And the most important thing is we all got to go back home. But the thing about um, your quality of life while you're here. Now, there's part of suffering that's part of the initiation, and then there's part of suffering that's just suffering out of whatever, whatever the circumstance may be. But there's a lesson in everything, and in life, we get the test before we get the lesson, most times. So, this book just comes together, and it's another confirmation for me on my journey. I was born in a natural state, you know, that triggered something in me, you know, natural. So I found myself being a naturalist amongst other things, so called, right? So I am Elegant Soul Food, the consecrated nature baby. This book, you know, nutrition for intuition, just pulls together a lot of the things that I've been trying to convey to you all so succinctly. I'm really proud of the job that they did with this. And if you care about elevating your temple and how it affects everything, it's your gateways. I always tell you protect your gateways, your eyes, your mouth, your ears, your nose. Um, these are the gateways, some of the gateways, to protect and preserve your temple. So, um, this book is just one neat package. So, elegant soul food. Most time when people hear soul food, they assume, those that can't see make the assumption that I'm talking about selling food. Well, and I say I'm soul food. Soul food is wellness for your soul in the ways that we speak to ourselves and to others, how we protect our spiritual gateways, and how we nourish our temples with fruits, vegetables, water, and connecting to God and nature on all planes, right? Find God in everything. So, given that, I'm a so called naturalist, and I could go through this book and never finish this damn video because it's just so much. So, this book is by Doreen Virtue and Robert Reeves. They have a ton of work out there, especially Doreen. And I just want to give you some breakdowns on some of this. You see, I got all my post-it notes. So it's 3 sections: nutrition, intuition, connection, which is talking about the frequency and connecting to the energy of food and your chakras. And then is recipes and recommendations to nourish your intuition. I always try to tell people, notice how you feel when you eat stuff. Or I could tell you what some of my triggers are. You know, I can eat some sugar, it'll tear my ass up. But if I make the food and I use fruit sugars like coconut sugars, or if I'm eating fruits that are sweet, it doesn't affect my body like eating, you know, raw sugar, white bleach sugar. And that's why I'm very picky about eating other people's. One of many reasons I'm very picky about eating other people's food and eating out. And I know I'm gonna have to pay the price. So I'm understanding the blueprint from my temple, and I encourage you all to do the same. Um, so in the recipes, they talk about places you should go, you know, your guiding dietary principles. Like I said, I'm a naturalist. I believe in having natural and organic and clean, eating clean food. Sorry, my nose is running. I'm sitting outside in nature. I am the concentrated nature baby, but I'm allergic to outside. So, I didn't bring any tissue, so forgive me. I'm gonna be sniffing. So, it talks about different using food as a medicine, and again, I was talking about clean eating, and that everything that's natural isn't good. Like I'm sitting up here outside in nature, telling you I'm allergic to outside. Nonetheless, I'm out here sacrificing myself to be out here without taking any allergy pills because this is my element. And so until my temple begins to comply, I'm just gonna be outside so it forgets about it. Um, Healing your body and energy. It gets into detoxing to clear your intuition, how to clear your chakras, and optimizing your nutrition intuition for intuition lifestyle. Really, really, really good stuff. So I've been putting this stuff in my videos for years. If you all been watching me, and as I've shared with you before, spirit led me away from alcohol. It's all poison, whether I like it or not. Whether it's red wine or, some top shelf champagne or cognac, it's still poison. And spirit led me away from marijuana when I was like 17 years old. Spirit led me to food, clean eating, and a lifestyle, a lifestyle change. I've tried to eat my way out of having surgeries. I caught it too late, but that doesn't mean other people can't do it. I probably could have been successful if I would have kept going after going years being undiagnosed with an illness and working at a university, medical school, and hospital, going on undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. Um, I could have stayed the course. I caved. So Spirit has led me to fasting. I used to fast when I was a Christian. I've shared that story with you. I've shared a story with you about doing different detoxes. And I've been on my journey, my whole life, starting with my parents, Alberta and John Turner, and my Uncle Tim, period. They put me on this track when I was a very small child. The three of them were my physical and spiritual handlers. So fast forward from the 1900s to the 2020, Spirit introduced me to this book. Um, I think I've had it for like a couple of years. This is the first time I picked it up to read it because I was already on the journey. But I was going through finding a book to take with me on my next trip, and I saw it. Please bear with me. I have to get something for my nose. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so it's just another spiritual confirmation looking at this book. And again, if you look back over my videos, you're going to find elements of this book all up and through it. Even though it's the first time I've looked at it, but that's how spirit works. You get a confirmation. So I try to explain to people the difference between being an oracle and a tarot card reader. Anybody can interpret cards, but you're an oracle, you don't need no cards. You don't need no cards. You plugged in, you plugged in. And I understand people using them as a tool or whatever. And there's a lot of different ways to divine. Nonetheless, don't want to digress. So, being in tune with myself and staying away from dead energy, or definitely fighting against dead energy, you are already an intuitive. Everybody has the gift. You got the spirit of God in you. You don't believe in God. You got spirit in you. You are physical and you are spiritual. Period. So some people are more in tune than others. Some people are more into their freak experience and not their frequency experience. Videos on that. If you want to get more context for that. There's colors that will trigger things that you need to be doing for your health and that will trigger your intuition. I got money videos where I talk about how it's all connected, that health and wealth is all connected. And you can, for example, I can feel my hair growing. I can feel the difference between when I eat something and don't eat something, like I was telling you about sugar. Um, what's this other note? Oh, I could tell what's going on with my health based on what I'm craving. Like, I'll just start saying I want some carrots. Oh, like when I was pregnant, I would say that I wanted some red dirt from down south. That was an iron thing. That kind of stuff happens. And it was another note I had from when I was talking to my god baby today. Um, mm, you know how people say they have nightmares, and then people would ask them, well, what did you eat last? It could have been what you ate that caused you to have a nightmare. Most, I don't know if you are familiar with that. That is a thing. If you watch some older movies or whatnot, or talk to some older people, they'll tell you that, based on what you eat and what time you eat, it can have an effect on how you rest or don't rest. And that just goes to show you, another example. Oh, and then the quality of the food. Yeah, based on the quality of the food. If it's fried, if it's GMO, uh, oh, if it's processed food. Yeah, that's the end of my notes on there. So, okay. You are already an intuitive. This, the way that you preserve your temple or feel your temple will help you be more of an intuitive. Some people don't have the capacity or lack the capacity to trust their intuition, and so they're all over the place. It could be partially what you eat, or it could be a mental illness. So let's just be real about that. Um, so there's practical intuition. It gets into the science of intuition and how it works with your body. It talks about the four clairs being clairsence, clairsence. I messed up this word, which means your clear feeling, clairvoyance, which means clear seeing, clear audience, which means clear hearing, and clear cognizance, which means clear thinking or knowing. And a lot of people suffer from these things, and I know that there's science out there. I know that there's research out there that talks about the science of what you feed in your kids and how they eat, and this ADHD or obesity or kid diabetes and stuff like that. How if you are just pumping yourself full of medicine and you're not eating properly, I always say eat your medicine. If you're taking a bunch of pills for everything that ails you, you're not giving your body a chance to autocorrect. The body will heal itself. The body is built to preserve itself. So the things that you put into your temple, talking about just food this time, will have an effect on your four clairs. So eating right and drinking right will give you more confidence in your decisions, trusting your answers to receive intuitive understanding and appreciating yourself. It gets into the chakras and helps people understand those. It talks about the ear chakra. A lot of people don't get into that. This is a biggie: fight, flight, or freeze. So I share with you in other videos that I like working to get my central nervous system back in tune. And that whole fight, flight, or freeze thing, having your autoimmune system go completely out of whack. And Brother Yaki does a really good video on this recently. If you follow him, Dr. Yaki Halloween, I think I said his name. I think I got a P missing in there. He talks about the God's truth, about the various autoimmune diseases, and it's just like where they just decide to present their inflammation. You know, whether it's diabetes, whether it's lupus, whether it's thyroid disease, hyper or hypo, whether it's pancreas, whatever. It's just where the inflammation blows up in your body. That makes the big difference. It's all connected. It's all based on the food that you're eating. And that's what will shred your simple central nervous system. Did I do a video on Yaki's central nervous system tea? Oh, I think I did, but I haven't started using it yet. So then it talks about the solar plexus chakra. So when you start saying my gut tells me, and I have a gut feeling about this, I feel like you got butterflies in your stomach. Start talking about the heart chakra, your hand chakra, the seeing clairvoyant intuition, you know, having dreams that tend to be prophetic. God knows. Ooh. Seeing lights with no medical cause or physical origin. Seeing something move out the corner of your eyes and there's nothing or no one there. I'm not even going to get into that. We're going to focus on this book. Having visions in your mind. Oh, God. Yeah. Story of my life. Third eye chakra. I mean, that's pretty self-explainable, straightforward. The hearing, clairaudient, intuition. That's the psychic sense. Hearing, being called, hearing the voice of God. And recognizing the voice, knowing how to do something complicated without receiving prior instruction, meeting someone new and having an instant knowingness and a feeling about that person. Ooh, having knowledge just come pouring through you. And this is a biggie for me. All of these are biggies for me, but receiving $1 million ideas, even if you don't follow through on them. I always tell people I would love to have a job just being in a think tank, giving away $1 million ideas. I give them away to people all the time. And they say, you should do them. I don't have no interest in doing them. I'm doing what I want to do. I want to just chill. I just want to chill. So much so, if I won a big pot of money, say I won some millions, because I ain't going to say billions. If I won some millions, I would pay off the things I have and go to work Monday like nothing even happened. But you give me some billions, I'm disappearing. For real. Because I'm good. So, it's going to help with all of your clairs, eating right, and the ability to ask for things to be clear. You know, the auditory things, connecting to the energy of food. That is a biggie. I try to do that every single day, and putting myself in the mindset of, okay, well, you're not hungry. Like today I had some basmati rice, okra, and bean sprouts. No meat, nothing else. That was it. No dessert, nothing else. That's all I had. I don't feel full. I don't feel cramped. If I want something later, I have a handful of almonds, or I'll make a watermelon papaya smoothie. Speaking of, one of my girlfriends had me rolling. She said I was watching that video and I threw up in my mouth. She was like, Ray, I can't believe you be doing that stuff. I think you was just making the video. And I knew exactly what video she was talking about. I made a video talking about a sweet potato smoothie, and I used goat milk kefir and banana, and I usually like bananas. And she was like, goat milk kefir, why would you even do something like that? And I said, after we laughed and joked and talked about it, I said, honest to God, goat milk kefir tastes just like regular yogurt when you go ahead and put some fruit into it. It's just like, it's the stigma, you know, that we have about the situation until you try to make something work for you, you know, for yourself. That works for me. This is the thing that's a biggie about where your home is situated. You know, I live in the city. I don't live in a rural area, so electrical power lines. I stare out my window all the time, and I just be staring at them. I just be like trying to make them disappear. I was just like, I'm not gonna be here. This gonna be a rental property because I gotta get away from these power lines. What else did I want to share with y'all real quick? Because I can't go through the whole book. Recipes recommended to nourish your intuition. Oh my God. This is a biggie. Did it for years. Track your nutrition. I was tracking my health. And as I started tracking my health, I had to start tracking my nutrition because what I eat was affecting it. I wanted, I just put it like this. At the time, I was going to the cancer treatment center. That's how messed up my blood was. I didn't have cancer, but they were the only ones that were equipped to deal with my situation. And so, in order for me to eat my way out of my situation, I was able to do it that time. And I'm sure this time it helped, but that time for sure I was able to eat myself out of my situation. Um, I just wrote down everything I could eat. And so if it wasn't on this index card, then you can't put it in your mouth, period, the end. And anytime I deviated from that, I felt it. So that was something that was clicking, like I said, life teaches you as you go along. So there's a chart in here to recommend that you write down the time of day, breakfast, morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, evening snack. Who's doing all that damn eating? The time, what you ate, what you drank, how you felt, and what were you doing while you were eating. Now, what you were doing while you were eating, I think that's critical. That's something I didn't have on my list. I have the other things, but if you rush in to get to work, you might make an impulsive decision. This is why I keep saying about it's got to be a lifestyle change. You can't be doing it just because you want to lose weight or just doing this because it's a fad or a trend. Most people are followers, and so they're doing these things because they're following something that somebody else said to sound good, and they were hyped up by the way they said it, and so now they want to do it because they don't have their own journey. They are not internally motivated; they're externally motivated. No. Um, some questions to ask yourself during your food diary. Was today a normal day for me? Did I experience anything stressful? Or what were my relationship experiences like? Some people are emotional eaters, and I had never experienced that until I had two sisters die in 1 month, and man, all bets was off. It was just like I felt ill-equipped to deal with a situation like that. And as I was trying to make sense of my moments, I was just functioning. I wasn't. Yeah, I want to say I was just functioning, and period. I can't say I was surviving or thriving. I was just like functioning. So it just was what it was, and that was the first time I experienced something like that. Did you get a good night's sleep? Do you remember your dreams? Did I do meaningful work today? That is so important. Did I take any supplements or herbs? Did I take any pharmaceutical medicines? How much water did I drink? Did I have any cravings today? Tracking all this is lifestyle changes, but this is in the guise of increasing your flares, right? This is a powerful book if you really want to get your temple in check. As I say, I'm trying to kill Rasputia, and I've gotten Rasputia down to a Lucretia, and eventually I'm just going to be myself. Organics for intuition. Talking about getting fresh food, local, going to farmers markets. It has recipes to make energizing superfood and snacks. Let me put a post-it on this page for myself because this one I'm going to be reviewing at the airport or on the airplane because I don't have no layovers. Hallelujah. I like this. They got spiritual psychic smoothies and juices. I have a Nama juicer. I've never used it. And I just been putting stuff in my blender. I need to start using it. And then it talks about the ingredients and what they for. I saw this delicious recipe I can't wait to try. It's a sour soap pear lemonade. And I also saw a brother talking about using the tops off sweet potatoes. My sweet potatoes look good. I was sitting by my garden, using the leaves off the sweet potatoes to not just discard them and take the root, but to actually saute them like spinach or something like that and eat them. I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing it. So, spiritual chakra smoothies. So there's a smoothie for your crown, for your third eye, for your ear, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root, hand. Yes, they did the work. Herbal teas and medicines for intuition. You know, I don't use any chemicals or anything in my grass. And when I moved here, you know, the picture that the realtor showed, it looked like almost like baseball field grass. It just was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Front and back. I get here, this shit ain't been cut the entire time the people lived here. So the beautiful thing about that is everything that's indigenous to this region is growing in my yard, and so I don't use any chemicals in my grass. So I can come sit in my grass. I can put food in my um, ground here. My ground is very fertile. It's very dark. It's very black dirt. It's black dirt here. So I'm growing all these flowers and trees and stuff I'm planting here. Got my garden, and I'm starting to look at the things that is growing in my yard, like burdock. Burdock root is here. I haven't done this yet, and I missed the opportunity to take advantage of my I'm looking at dandelions, to take the dandelion leaves, and I've bought them at the store to add to my spinach or whatever, but to use the ones in my yard. And so now I start taking pictures of the things that are growing in my yard, and then I look them up and find out what herbs they are and how they can be used um, for healing. And that's all the kind of stuff I be wanting to do. When I remember I was working on my dissertation, I kept saying the first time I was working on it, I was just like, man, when I finish my dissertation, I'm just gonna watch cartoons. Then of course I got older and I was just like, when I finish, well, I still will watch some cartoons in a heartbeat. Um, and I was just like, okay, when I finish school, I'm just gonna go look at herbs. You know, when I go hiking, to look at herbs and find out what they're for, and get totally immersed in my natural lifestyle. So then it talks about the spiritual properties of various teas. So finding, you know, lavender, wild lavender, nettle. I can't do peppermint. I'm allergic to that one. Um, Rose tea, rosemary, saffron, thyme. Things that help your endocrine system. Yeah, baby, it rolling the deep here. Oregano oil, licorice, heart healthy herbs. Okay, I'm about to shut this down now. Oh, common cravings and how to heal them. I mean, this is a blueprint. And I know everything ain't for everybody, and you're gonna have allergies and some things you won't be able to do, but at least you'll start. This is a quick, concise way to start working towards getting it. You can literally be ahead of what it took me years and years and years and years and years, decades, honestly. What it took me decades to figure out, you can figure it out a lot faster. And that's why I make these videos, so I can help people. So if you're craving bread, possible deficiency is vitamin B, and then tell you things that you can enjoy instead. If you're craving candy, I'm about to send it to my girlfriend because she was talking about how she loves sweet tarts. um, if you're craving carbohydrates, you know what could be the issue if you're craving cheese, chips, or crisp items. If you're craving chocolate or coffee, deep fried food, fries, pasta, salt, soda, sugar. I'm gonna give y'all a freebie here. She might be watching this video. If you craving candy, possible deficiency is magnesium and B vitamins, multiple B vitamins. And foods that you can try is a green smoothie fresh juices, fresh squeezed juices, a piece of fruit, of course. I think we should all know that one. The energetic meaning is worries and insecurities, a desire for stronger romance, fears around work. I know hers is around work. She got an unfinished project. Um, Affirmation for you. If you're craving candy and you're going through this and you start to eat these things because you've seen this video, your affirmation is I am safe and secure in all ways. I love myself and others love me too. Ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. There's something here about flowers and stones and ways to energy, balance your energy, what the colors mean. I got a whole thing on what the colors mean, and when you start finding yourself attracted to a certain color, what it means. So, help you check out my color videos. I think I got it set up as a playlist, but I'll check. And then in the appendices, they have a clairvoyant food chart. So, if you want to be clairvoyant, it tell you things to avoid: caffeine, alcohol, fluoride. I think we know a lot of these. Uh, it tells you things that you can enjoy and things you should avoid. So, and then healing insights for each chakra. I just can't say enough nice things about this book. I hope this helps you on your journey. I really do, and I hope this message finds you well. And remember, if don't nobody else love you, Elegant Soul Food, Consecrated Nature Baby loves you. And I'll see y'all next time. Love, peace, and blessings.